device here is a do. It's basically do this and practically in DAYO. But I am decided that okay, it's mastery sessions because this is the life I have with categories in different programs that I hold. Now, session are people I call spectators, and spectators are you do what you are doing. So this guy wants to do, and so I call them us. That is number of these a little closer, so you can begin to look my board, and that's closer to me. I call stylists, and stylists join classes like this because a friend or maybe a friend of theirs invited them to a session like this. So they follow others to do what others are doing. They just watch what others are doing. But I'm going to get to that shortly. Live session is what I call starters. And starters are basically people who come for sessions like this and all they want to do with the middle or it gets to the end, they are going to drop off and go their own way. Who just wants to start things. And then there are those are called stoppers. So their own task is to stop. That is, they are fond of stopping things in the middle and then just works out or not. And if you remember when this particular session, if you are the type, and a lot of you actually answer about something here. I'm trying to figure out something. I can't ask a question in the group. So let me just see how I can quickly send this. Just to cross check. That people don't get to miss this, and because right on my own, right on us are saying that they can't see only find the live stream. I hope you are able to find camera, and then I flip my camera to the other side, live stream, so that it doesn't go with that. Let me see right here if my live stream is showing. So I'm able to. Let me quickly see if I can get. So I'm trying to check it and start all over again so that others can join, so that it doesn't get to be like I'm. From here, I can see that 3 persons are watching. Let me just please leave a comment in the comment so that I know that you can see me and that you can comment. People can actually be partake. So let me just drop it inside the group so that people can actually. So let me just drop the. So please leave a comment. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. I hope that all of that. Okay, so this one is already saying that it is live. I can see that everything is live here. Yep. Leave a comment. Doing it much more than actually do it with me. Just unlike starters, they don't just start. You just come to work themselves. So. Olakumi Balogun, thank you for leaving comments down below so that I can see that image. The one that put something on the screen here so that you can actually nothing is bad, everything is working fine. I only just put something on the screen so that I can hear and so that I can actually see the. Let's continue the. Amazing. So let's my device keeps telling me that my internet connection is unstable, but I hope that you can actually live stream. I've already talked about the fact that the reason why I'm doing mastery session is because I want to be able to my channel every month. So every month I want to go deep topic that I may not have been able to cover in depth on my where you get to master something at a deeper level with me. You are very, very welcome to do that. And with that, so let's quickly talk about the three kinds. I can still see the comments. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you that exist. Stand that everything I'm not because I don't want to charge you, but because I just want to this Christmas season. More like very much for joining me. I do not take it on. Just understand with me that I am using so amazing. And well, if you have visual type of person, I like to do a lot of drawings, a lot of that exist, and I would like to use this to easily understand what I want to share with you here. Okay, that's not clear on that screen because I want them. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so there are three levels. First level is the goals of having. This is the goal of you trying to acquire things. This is the goal for you to acquire something. And basically these type of goals, you survival. And the essence of this type of goals is so that you can have the things that you need in order for you to enjoy the kind of life that you want. Survival type of things as you want a house, you want a car, you want a job, you want money, you want let's say, but you want things like this. But then when we come to the second level, the second level, this is the level where you get to doing something. Usually this comes, and success goals like this usually are things like, okay, so let's say you have a house, you want to have a bigger house, you want to have a bigger car so that you can appear to be, you want to have even a bigger that you want to even make more money. That is, the money you are currently making is not, you need to make more money. This is what I call the success on the things you need to do, the things you need to do in order to have more. The level, which is the level I call, so we get to this third level, which is the level I call the B type of goals. On significance type of goals, goals that focus on significance. This is the type of goal where you focus on your mental, your growth, your all-around business. This usually is often left of us when we get into business. We get into business because we want to make money. Then a lot of other things that we need to have a better business. And so I need you to understand that you can have survival goals, a life that you want to live, begin to look, whatever it is you have bigger. And then at the third level, which is the significance goal, growing, you expanding your feel you are, wherever level it is you feel you are in your current life. Understand this very well. Please leave a comment down below and type understood so that I can know that you actually know that you are getting me. Normally, this is supposed to be, the comments are supposed to be shown at it on a second screen. So let me jump over to the second screen, and while okay, thank you, Olarewaju. I can see Max Israel Mayokun. Thank you. So very good. Thank you. Okay, so moving forward from here now. Let's now get into something a little more specific. Of course, I told you before now. Of course, with your material. I mentioned to you that the only teaching part that I needed to do is what I've just done now. So all that is in order for you to actually create the kind of goals that will motivate you and help you achieve them in 2020. So let's get to do that. And for us to start, I need you to create, I want you to create a circle. Now, for those of you who might be interested in a more personal work, of course, there is a program that I am just kicking off called Leverage for Leaders. it's a mastermind program. So it's basically for those direction that matter to them. More importantly, those who want to play a bigger game in the coming year. Anyway, I'll talk about that later on. So what I want you to do right about now is your life dimensions. Now, if you're wondering what am I looking at, I'm actually walking you through. So let's look at your life dimensions. And we need life coaching. So I want you to draw a big set of dimensions. You want to look at your own life from your own world is even clearer. So what you want to do is you want to have a center, and then you want to divide the circle into 12 different parts. So you want to divide the circle into 12 different parts. Now I've drawn, then go like this. You want to go like this, and then go like this. Once you do that, that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's that simple. So please draw that big enough on your paper. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to go marks like this. So here you want to write 2, here you want to write 4, here you want to write 8, 6, and then you want to write 8, and here you have 10. So that means automatically the center is what? 6, 8, 10. And what you want to do is mention 12 dimensions of your life that you actually need to pay attention. People set goals in a vacuum. So they basically look at 2020 and say, I want to make more money. And so when they say I want to make more money, their relationship, their family, their intellectual are left alone. And those other parts that are left alone, they now begin to wane, they begin to kind of die down, but do poorly in their family life. You find people who succeed very much in, perhaps in their, who succeed very, very well in their social life, but they are very, very poor when it are very, very, how should I say that? Quality of life is very, very low. So that's the reason why I'm helping you to label them, and to label them one after the other. And I hope that you can just type in the comments below that yes, you can see it. So type below that yes, you can see my comments. Let me know that you can see my so let me know that you can see my comment down below. I'm trying to check right now for comments so that I don't get to miss anyone's comment. So let me know down below that you can see my board. Okay, good. Good. So I can see. So good. So I think that is cool enough. Diagram, you want to label your circle, these 12 life dimensions. You want to label intellectual. Third, so here you want to have health, intellectual, emotional. You want to have character. You want to have spiritual as number 4. So I'm going to be reading out the list for you. So first is health and fitness. Second is intellectual. Third is emotional. Fourth is spiritual. Number 6 is love and relationships. And then 7 is parenting. And don't be disturbed if you think, what's this guy saying about parenting? Just wait first. Number 8 is social. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial. Number 11 is quality of life. And number 12 is life vision. So look through everything, label them appropriately. And then what you want to do is you want to, okay, good. You can see the diagram. Good. So what you want to now do is you want to label them. How fulfilled, how satisfied, how well have I done in this particular area of my life in 2019. So if it is in your health and fitness, do you have the kind of body you really want to have? Do you have the kind of, how is your health? What's your health been like? So in my own case, my health will probably be around 8. You know why? Because 2018, most especially 2017, I was practically getting down almost every month due to one illness or the other. And so 2018 was more of a discovery moment for me. So I began to focus on my health and ensure that I stopped eating certain things. I started doing certain things well. I changed a lot of routines, changed a lot of things I was eating. More importantly, I changed, the biggest part of it was actually that I changed the water that I was drinking. And that basically stopped majority of the illnesses that I was experiencing. So that's the first thing you want to do. Health and fitness. How well have you done this 2019? How well have you done in this area? Then look at your intellectual life. How well have you grown intellectually this 2019? Did you read as many books that helped you to grow, or you were just basically scrolling through social media and thinking that you are reading when you go on social media? So you need to ask yourself, what's your intellectual level? How fulfilled are you intellectually this 2019? And so what intellectually, you say that, okay, I spent more time on social media 2019 than reading my books, then you want to mark yourself as maybe 2 or 3. And the good part is that you can have 3, 5, 7, 9 right about now. And then look at the third category, which is your emotional. Look at your category, which is the emotion. I think somebody is asking a question. Maybe I should even bring this. Okay, let me go through all the numbers again. Number 1 is health and fitness. Number 2 is intellectual. Number 3 is emotional. Number 4 is character. Number 5, spiritual. Number 6, love relationships. Number 7 is parenting. Number 8 is social. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial. Number 11 is quality of life. And number 12 is life vision. Now, anyway, this is what I wanted to say. Usually, what I start from is the life vision, because I usually get people to, first of all, I ask them, what is your overall vision for your life? What are you looking to actually have at the end of your life? What kind of legacy are you looking to leave behind? So, for example, in my book, Limitless Courage and Confidence, in one particular chapter, I think that should be about chapter 12 or chapter 11, I talk about accepting the future. That's because life vision played out even in the book. Do you get it? So life vision is one thing that I usually get people to do. But of course, this class is not for life vision, so I can't go into that. But what life vision basically means is that if you look at your life 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, how much of clarity do you have in that area? Do you have enough clarity to know that, okay, 5 years from now, I know what I'm going to be doing with my life? Or let's say next year, 2020, I even know what I'm going to be doing with my life. That's where life vision comes in. So I hope that I've explained life vision. So life vision will probably come here on this. So life vision will be here. Life vision will be here. And you want to rank yourself. How much of clarity do you have when you consider your life vision? So if you are not clear, you can put it around 2. If you are to some extent clear, you can put it maybe from 4, 6, 8. It all depends on you. You are the one. This paper, nobody is going to look at it. It's just for you. So do that right about now. So number 1 is health and fitness. Number 2 is intellectual. Number 3 is emotional. Number 4 is character. Number 5 is spiritual. Number 6 is love relationships. Number 7 is parenting. Number 8 is social. Number 9 is career. Number 10 is financial or finances. And number 10 is quality of life. And number 11 is quality of life. Number 12 is life vision. So if you got that, please go ahead and fill out this and then rate yourself. How well have I done this 2019? Emotionally, how balanced emotionally were you 2019? How in your character, what's your character level compared with the character that you want to have? What has that been like in 2019? Then in your spiritual life, of course, this area will be spiritual. So this area will be spiritual. And then here you have love. And here you have parenting. So I hope it's clear enough for you to see. So if you can see it, just let me know. So while I'm waiting on you, let me put this up on my screen here. And my hand is moving it everywhere now. Okay, so somebody says saying that can I take them again? Okay, first is you have number one is intellect. Number one is health and fitness. Number two is intellectual. Number three is emotional. Number four is character. Number five is spiritual. Number six is love and relationships. Number seven is parenting. Number eight is your social life. Number nine is career. Number 10 is financial. And number 11 is quality of life. And number 12 is life vision. So hope you got it now. Hope you got it now. And I hope you got it now. So if you got it, say yes that you got it. If you've gotten it, so if you've done that assessment for yourself, please comment below. Let me know that you've done that. Okay, you say you can't see them. You don't have to see them actually. You just need to work out this yourself. So just draw a circle like this. Divide the circle into 12. You can follow my pattern here. Divide the circle into 12. Then label the circle using those numbers. Now, just put a mark to them. And once you have done that, the next thing you will want to do will now be to do, so let's say here you have 7, here you have 3, here you have in your spiritual life, let's say you have 10. You grew very much spiritually. In your love, that is in your relationship with your significant other, you did very well, or maybe you got into a relationship that you really wanted. You have maybe, let's say, 9. If you are not in a relationship, you can put yourself on 2 or 3 or 1 or 0. And then when it comes to parenting, let's say as a parent, of course, well, I'm a new parent anyway, so I can't rate myself very well yet. But when it comes to parenting, if you're not parenting a child, if you have people who look up to you as a mentor, that is some form of parenting. So you might also want to look at that and rate yourself accordingly. So the next category is social. Well, socially, I didn't do well this year. Personally, that is DAYO Samuel now. I didn't do well socially this year. I originally planned that I was going to go out a lot this year. But then, plans changed, so I didn't travel as much as I wanted to travel. I didn't go out as much as I wanted to. And that's because I had to focus on what is more important to me as DAYO Samuel rather than going out. So, but it didn't really suffer because even this Saturday I'll still be going out. I'll still be at an event this Saturday. So career, I'm going to rank myself as 8 when it comes to financial. Quality of life, I'm going to rank myself as 8. Then life vision, I think I'm going to rank myself as 10. What I will now do next, which I also expect you to do, will be to now connect all these shapes, all these spots together. So just connect them together. Just connect them like this. Just connect them one after the other. Just connect them, and then let me see, or look at what you have in your paper. So just connect them one after the other like that, and then have this set, because this is what's going to determine the kind of goals you are actually going to set for 2020. And if you remember earlier on, I said most people set goals in vacuum. So they basically just look at parenting. They say, I want to be a better parent next year. Or they look at their life vision. I want to find purpose. I want to find my life purpose next year. So 2020, my purpose must be clear. So if that is what you want to do, well, that's life vision. So you need to also look at that. So if you focus on life vision at the expense of love, that is, you are so carried away by a vision you want to have for your life, a vision you want to fulfill in your lifetime, but you leave out relationship, which interestingly is on the opposite to wrong. So what you get to find is that you have people, or you find that you personally, or maybe let me not personalize it to you, you find people who are very passionate with their life vision, but when it comes to finances, they are very, very broke. So they don't have the money to fund even the life vision that they want to live. Interestingly, your quality of life is basically, if you look at your environment right now, you look at your environment, the environment you live in, the kind of house you live in, the kind of things you have in your house, the kind of gadgets, your clothes, everything you need for your life to be qualitative. That's what quality of life means. So you want to look at that. maybe your devices that you use. Are you using the kind of things you truly wish you could use? That's what quality of life means. And for financial, my recommendation when I usually work with clients, what I usually recommend to them is never compare yourself with Dangote. You can't compare your finances with that of Dangote. In fact, it's going to be fatal failure for you to be doing that, because or you want to compare yours with Bill Gates, you can't be doing that. So right, in comparison with what you set out to make this year, how well did you do? So next year you are going to, well, anyway, I'm going to get to that. So you want to look at how well have you done financially this year, this 2019, and then you want to look at, okay, your career, for example. Did you get the kind of business you wanted to get? Did you get to start the career of your dreams this year, or you were just everywhere, just doing something that, like I used to say, anywhere belefe is what you are doing? So you need to identify that. The next is love and relationship. Did you get into the relationship you dreamed of? Did you get into the kind of relationship that supports your dream? Do you have the kind of, and now that is even crossing to number 8, which is social. Do you have the kind of social circles that help you become more of a person your life vision wants you to become? So you will see that when you do something like this, you're actually looking at your life comprehensively. So you are not just looking at your health and picking a goal, saying that you want to set a goal for your health, and then your intellectual life is haphazard. So I hope you get that. So I'm going to pause here and try to look at all the questions that you have asked so far, and as well also try to see how I can answer your questions going forward. Oh, so I just, in case you are saying white screen, it's because I'm trying to do something on my screen. So don't be dismayed. It's just white screen. So, so good. So this is this here. So okay, so let me put that back on the screen while I look at all the questions. Okay, so I've answered your question. How do we grade parenting if we don't have kids? As I explained earlier on, if you don't have kids, look at the people you parent. So, for example, you could be parenting, you could be a mentor to people, you could be somebody that people look up to. That will be a way to grade yourself. Like, okay, the people who look up to me, the people who, maybe my siblings, or maybe the people in my circles who look up to me, whether as a mentor, as somebody, as a role model, how well did I treat them this year? How well did I do that this year? Do you get it now? So that's what you will look at for grading your parenting. So I hope I've answered your question now. I hope I've answered your question now. I hope I've been able to answer questions related to that. So if you are done, please type that you're done so that I know that you are done. So if you are done, once you are done, just type done so that I know that you are done. Just type done and let me know that you are done. Okay, Rabostella, you said got it. Thank you. Okay, Olarewaju, you said yes. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so Alakumi, done. Olarewaju, done. Amazing. So now, let me get back to my screen. And so far, I hope this is meaningful to you. I hope this is not just like I'm wasting your time. So if this is meaningful to you, please let me know also in the comments. Let me know also in the comments that this is meaningful to you to some extent. Okay, so I'm back on your screen. Amazing. So I'm back on your screen. Okay, so now that you have this, you can now ask yourself, what do you really need to work on in 2020? Did you grow so much in your character? Was nothing to write home about. Did you grow so much in your love relationship, and then your intellectual was nothing to write home about, and some other parts were left missing? So this is here. Now for 2020, I need to find other areas that I'm going to focus on. Usually what I recommend is over the space of a 90-day period, the best is to pick just 3 categories and focus on those 3 categories for a 90-day period. Now, for me, that is what has worked for me. And because I understand the human brain, it is easy for us to be distracted by a lot of things. So if you say, my intellectual life, I did not grow. My character, I did not, or parenting, I did not grow. So next year, I want to focus on 5 things. I can tell you, understanding how the human brain works, you are going to be distracted and you would even do so much. So what I wanted to do right is where you didn't grow so much this 2019, and that is what you want to focus on for just the next 90 days, which is going to be January, February, and then March. Now, this is what you are now going to, you are going to look at this. Which 3 areas can I focus for the month of January, February, and March? So go ahead and write that down in your own. Okay, so Ibuku Kamalafe says, I love this. It's all encompassing and balanced. But my question is, won't it be overwhelming if you focus on achieving all goals in these 12 areas? Just as I explained, you wouldn't need to focus on all of them all at once. You will basically just focus on 1, 2, 3 areas max for just a 90-day period. So January, February, and March, which 3 areas do you want to focus on for the next 90 days? That is how to actually look at it. So rather than focus on everything all at once, which is going to make you feel very, very overwhelmed, focus on just the key areas that you need to grow in for 2020, for at least for January, February, March of 2020. Those are the 3 areas you need to pick right now. So do that, do that, do that. Okay, so once you have done that, now we can attain parts. Now we can now focus on the interesting goal this from my board. So if I can clean this from my board, just please comment down below so that I can go ahead and clean this from my board. Now, again, I'm going to recommend that you actually okay, so in case you are wondering what is this on my screen, well, the goal is so that I am able to draw, so that I'm able to scribble things down for you. So right about now, what you want to do is you want to, okay, before I go ahead with that, let me first of all check my comments so that I know that, okay, Naomi, you said you missed vital parts due to network issues. Sorry about that, but I hope that you are able to quickly catch up. So pick a part that you want to focus on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and clean this off from my board, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean this off from my board. So now that you have picked the key areas you want to focus on of January, February, and March. Now, this is where the goal setting actually now comes in. Some of you may already know that I am not a fan of SMART goals. And I'm saying this because I need you to understand that when I decided to study how SMART goals came about, I found out SMART goals was actually developed by somebody who was trying to create what is called organizational objective. So what organizational objective means is that you are trying to set the direction for an organization. That is, my organization will need to focus on so and so thing for the space of time. So the same way I used January, February, March for you right now, SMART goals were basically created for, okay, let's say we want to set objectives for the next 1 year. This is the area I want to drive at. So when I say it's going to be specific, it's going to be measurable, it's going to be achievable, it's going to be realistic, it's going to be time-based. So it's going to be 1 year it's going to be, yeah, is it realistic? Yes. Is it achievable? Yes. Is it measurable? How do we count it? So we want to look at milestones, and then it is specific. So this was the original design. It was meant to focus on organizations, not individuals. It was meant to focus on organizations, how organizations set management objectives. So I found that, because I actually looked at a lot of discussions around this, a lot of people were arguing that it is still working, it can still work for goals. Of course, somebody picked it up and created a book based on this and wrote a book that how to set smart goals and all that. And so people started applying it to goals. But you find that when you set goals like this, you practically have no plan of achieving it. So it's basically, you just write your specific goal, you write down the milestone. Is it measurable? Yes, you create the milestones. Achievable? Yes. Is it realistic? Yes. And then what is the time that you will achieve it? You write all of that down. But you find out that this does not include any plan of achievement. So you find that a lot of people actually create goals, and by the time they set for that goal comes, they find that they have not actually achieved anything. Why? Because this is not a model for you to use personally. It was used for as a let me explain it this way. Like, you are creating an objective for something, not yourself. So that is what this was originally designed for. So I needed to clarify that, because in this particular mastery session, this goals to growth mastery session, we are not going to be using SMART goals. In fact, if SMART goal is what live session right now and just go your way and work with, then you should please pay attention to what I'm about to share with you next. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, for those who will like more of getting into a mastermind where you are able to work with a tiny group of people who have actually joined what I call Leverage for Leaders. And this is a 6 months. Is this 6 months? I need to actually confirm. Okay, it's actually a 7 months plan. It's actually a 7 months mastermind where you and a tiny set of people can actually get together every week to work on your goals. So it means that even after you set these goals here, you can actually join the Leverage for Leaders, and every month we walk through, every week rather, we get on a Zoom training, on a Zoom call, you, myself, and just the tiny number of persons who are going to be part of this. Is actually a close mastermind, and we look at your goals, we look at develop strategies so that you can actually move towards the goal. So every week you get accountability. For the 7 months that we are going to be together, it's going to be we are going to focus on 7 focus areas. So that means that every month you have one focus area that you want to develop fully. Then we have Q&A sessions, we have private workshops. I'm going to provide professional support as a professional coach and a therapist. Then you are going to also be able to multiply your performance, helping you to amplify your stuckness, when you get to set goals in you. So I'm good session. So let the developed more than training events people create it out of Acts 2000 to get March 6 within the thing. Interestingly, because just doing it 2015 for my named for me to even discuss time we were checking, and it was even made complete ago. Now, to cross it initially set of my life. This year, to lead 2009, and I was good, and I found it. I wanted that city to lead and direct it where a lot of people actually called me and said. And so when I became clear on that new organization that I'm national, this channel is going to be of fact, this is into organizations and effective. I did, and of course, stretch is what you're going to focus that I set out for my. Called my wife, who also need in order for us to have this, be able to pay us. We came up with a plan. Go about 3 of people through what I'm about to walk you. We were just for the company. I decided, okay, I'm going to ask to you, and that is why. If you have enjoyed this master's as I'm moving away, Mebukun says, okay, financial building, great. Please can someone share as that. It's breaking quite fast. Thank you. Let's now get into how to actually for your skill that has worked. It has also worked this to other people. It has even read some people wrote to. And I mean, when I taught this in it's an eye-opening class for me, because I ended up not achieving them. You can look at the. So he said, today I has been null and not target. This is also another. So look at it. I'm glad I attended this. High point is also that most of the things we are anxious what it means. I learned, and another person also wrote how crushing my goal was to use my own trumpet. Neither is it to do. But then I needed to read a number of persons, and for that, let's get 60 minutes in your notepad. So I'm going to draw what is you want to. Actually, you don't even need to draw. So what you want to do is you want reality is. So we talked about just money is one area you want to look at. Okay, if finances, okay, what is my current in terms of finances, relationships, quality of life? What is your current reality? So for example, because so if you can look at one particular second, my current reality at that time was 30,809 bank account. I had 3,000.3 as a second of 20 was just 2,600 subscribers in the new email list that I had reality. So I'm not just deceiving where I am first. Is this where you are? So if you Shokoto from where to use Google Maps identify where you. This is one example. It doesn't have to be. And I checked into my bank account. Next 90 days, you need to have my savings account. In all of my identify that the result I want to now look at is what in this particular area of my that. So this when I saw 30K, if that's all that we had at my own personal bank account around there, I said, okay, I need to now notify the picture of what is going to be an ideal result. Where do you want it to get to? So if your was 3, it means that between now and next year you want to maybe 7,000 right now. It means that you want to move too big anyway. So you want to move it to about, let's say you want to move it from this by the next 90 days. Your current reality, then create your ideal. And let me quickly go through the comment. I think my network may be contributing to that. I don't know, but I hope about the network breakage. Just please, I hope that now it's clearer. I hope that now it's clear. Hopefully now it should be clearer. Okay, just to be sure. If you have set your okay in the next 90 area, having created to actually identify road block, getting to this. So just to for water, screen. So the first thing you want to do is create full roadblock. So what to this place? Where you want to get to? You want to go this way. Of course, normally. So what you want? So if your current reality is about $3,000, result is 100,000, or it's going to be your ideal over the next night. Getting to this, and so you want to write down everything you can stopping you from achieving. Thing that will stop you is just you. Things that may just stop you may just be you. Another thing that could stop you would be maybe overwhelmed. Typically, because I work a lot with people, usually happens to be emotion. I think that procrastination is a time management problem. I have that procrastination is an thing. Ask yourself, or you didn't feel. Procrastination is not really a time management. It's because you really didn't able to put yourself into a state that a lot of ease. So that's possible roadblocks that you and that I also get some things. Are you still with me? 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 So if you are still with me, say yes in the comments, let me know. So if you are still with me, say yes in the comments. So say yes in the comment, let me know that you are still with me. Comment yes, comment yes, comment yes, let me know that you are still with me. Let me know that you are still with me. So please leave a comment down below. Let me know that you are still with me. That's with me. Okay, great. So here, this is where you actually create your goal. And it is important to understand means, goals, and their end goals. So what people usually do is they focus on, if making 300,000 naira is a goal you have, that is, this is your current naira, or let's even say 5 million naira is training, I'm going to use 300,000. So let's say 300,000 is, that is only a means goal. You want to ask yourself, that is, to what end is this 300,000 naira? How is it going to achieving this 300,000 naira? Specifically, you want to pay attention to it. Is it going to make you feel more proud of yourself? Is it going to help your family? Is it going to help you make certain things happen for end goal? So means it's only to get to an end. So identify that increasing my quality of life is only a means to an end. Is only a means to an end. That end goal. And identify is, you want to, since you are going from reality comes your goal, you now say, okay, this is a means goal, this is an end goal. But you are setting as your 3 months, let me call it this way, the state of mind, the state of being means. Do you get it now? So for example, when I was explaining the 3 types of goal, I mentioned only the do or have type of goal. So if you want to make $300,000 or 300,000 naira to change your life, what will that do for you? That is what you need to actually write down. You notice what I'm explaining here. Your track point is only because you want to accomplish at a deeper level, which is for you to end. You need to have it in the picture right about. You know, when you set goal, and the only reason why, if you don't make the money, it won't affect you. And what you want to do is you want to look at it this way. How will this money change? So if you make 300,000, it will help you have a better quality of life, the kind of person you are. So that is the end. That is very, very important. So I want you to as well again. Oh, sorry, you said my voice is breaking. Sorry about that. I hope that my voice is clearer now. Okay, the internet connection has resumed being unstable, so I hope he gets to stop that shortly. Okay, my internet connection is stable back, so complain any further. So I hope that you've been able to see what I've done. Scribble it on my screen here. Let me see if I can try and scribble it on my screen here so that you can actually see what I have done. Okay. Let me see what you have written. Okay. Your goal needs to have, and be doing all of that at once. So let me just on that device right now. So these results you want to end right about now. So write down that you want to now look at, okay, this is your reality. This is the roadblock. How do you bypass this roadblock? Now, in order to bypass, or this is where the, so this is, okay, so that you can see it. It looks like it's small there, so that you can see. So remember that you are going from here, from your current reality to your results. This is where you are setting the goal. So the end goal is to you. Now you now come to your experience. So how bypass this roadblock? How can you succeed? Where you need to now begin is where I'm going to actually guide you through the comments again. I hope that you can get to watch it again too. I hope that truly, like I said, this is not so much of teaching, is if you can actually work through it directly like this. So go on. For example, I'm answering you right now. Leave comments, that's also fine as well. Okay, so moving to the roadblock, what do you need to do? You need to grow. Currently, grow is also a technique to actually achieve your goals. Okay, so good. What to do is, first of all, you want to identify what the goal is. So you want to identify what the goal is. Okay, first of all, you want to identify what the goal is. And secondly is you want to identify the real. We have identified the goal already, which is the goal here, which is $1,000. The reality is that you are here. This is where you currently are. You are maybe at 3,000 naira reality. Now, in order to go from this reality to bypass this roadblock, you want to create what I call O, which basically means that options. or you can say opportunities. So you can call it option. What you want to look at here is, what are the things that you need to do in order, or what are the things you can explore to get to this goal of 300,000. So the opportunities, what I usually recommend is for you to come up with a minimum of 5 things that you can do that will help you to get to this. So if you say 5 things you need to come up with, so you look at it, you say, okay, number 1, what do you need to do? So I'm using the example of finances anyway. If it is love and relationship, what are the options? How can you get to have the kind of relationship you want to have? This is where you actually begin to break it down into things that you need to block. That's what we are saying. So here, you want to look at 300,000 naira. You want to look at, okay, first, I can get a job. Second, I can start a business. I can say, okay, let me start a business. Third, I can say, okay, let me sell courses. I can say, let me sell books. Or I can say, let me offer services. So let me offer services. What kind of services? Okay, in my own case, I'm a graphic designer, of course. I do media related work. I do publishing. I publish books for people. I do video productions. Services. I do therapy. I coach. So coaching, all of these are now services that you can offer to people. Looking at all the options that you can use to get to this 300,000. Now, these are the options, right? What you also want to do is now look at it this way. So this is part 1. So this is step 1 of this 300,000 naira, $300,000 down into granulated formats. And by that, you want to break it down into tiny bits that make it easier for you. If this thing is zoomable, if I can zoom in, I'm not sure the zooming in will be clear. So let me see if I can actually move this entirely. So here you are looking at all of the. You want to make 300,000. If it is finance points, you begin to break down the numbers. This is exactly how much I need to make per time. Your goal is to make 300,000. This means that you want to look at it 300 that you will need to do one business that gets you through, so that you can see it clearly. Let me use the math that is easy for me in my head. In 150,000, you only need to do 3 of these. If you do 50,000, you only need to do 6 of these. If you do 10,000, you only need to do 30 of these. If you do 15,000, so to say, you only need to do 20 of this. So what that means is that if you battle how much you need to offer all of these services here, all of these options, that opportunity for you to now access everything you are doing here, so that each time you produce a course, each time you clearly that this is what I'm offering. Graphic design, for example, I mean that my graphic design now needs to be 10,000 naira. Cool. Or if it is media services, I say, okay, let's say media services will just be to offer that service once. For book publishing is 150,000 naira. It means I only need to look for. If it is therapy, for example, if I say therapy is 100,000 naira. If it is, I only need to have just 3 clients in order for me to reach my goal. Or in the next night, I get the clients who can pay this, any of this amount, I can easily client. The client is not interested in helping. Usually it's a win-win. A transaction should not be a win and lose. But you should also be able to provide the service, the quality of service that is also able to take to. And you are moving from areas this much so that you can have enough, very, very powerful, because by the time you have what you need to get the okay, this is exactly what you need. Energies on quality of result that you are looking for. Just the entire board back. So I hope this jump into the comment. And so again, I hope that you are still 7 people watching, because as I mentioned earlier on, this is not for you to be able to, it's not me teaching, it's walking you through everything you need to do. So that said, to come up with the options, and then you are able to break down the numbers in order to be clearer, so that I can see I need to adjust something here as well. So I think I've adjusted it, so let me just leave it hanging. Good. Okay, so now moving forward again of the Way forward here simply means, okay, from all of these options, so that's with the around life entire year. I'm the one that is. So having done that, we now need to move on to the next part, to the result. That is having broken a goal to the result. This is where I call go. So now you want to go from this roadblock to the result that you are looking for. What I have written here is go. If I do, how happy am I going to be? I've just come, everything that I've just designed. How will I feel? If I'm able to do everything that I've just highlighted here, now you notice that overwhelming. It's now very easy for you to actually do, because now you have clear laid out, okay, if this is what I need to do, how will I feel if I actually get started on this? Look like I want to write down everything. Now, so it automatically brings you back to this end goal. So you have this end goal again. Then you want to ask yourself again, this, how will I feel? Because we are naturally motivated by either pain as well as be aware of the pleasure that is ahead. And let one of them motivate. If money, for example, you take care of your family as the end result, and you say, okay, what will happen if I am going to be able to take care of my family very well? I'm going to be able to care for the people who truly matter in my life. And you write that down. You now ask yourself, what will happen if I don't achieve this goal? It means I'm not going to be able to take care of myself. It means that the kind of things that I'm looking forward to have over the next 90 days will not be possible, because I didn't take action. I didn't do something about my goals. This is exactly what I want you to. I can come here and teach you 25, 40, 30 steps for you to achieve your goals, and you still probably where you are, and 90 days from now, you'll still be the same person that you need to that follow these that I've shared with you. You can see that you practically have been, for those of you who are asking that what is the meaning of goals to growth, it means that the goals here become avenue to where you want to be. Now, this is a mastery session. It's for you to actually, the goal of every mastery session that I'm going to be having on this channel. Now, the thing is, of course, you can see that this is not something that you'll find everywhere, or sorry, that you can receive content like this. My goal with every video I release on this channel is to help you make more money with less stress, less anxiety, with much more clarity, that you will be able to, if it's stress, if it's anxiety, if it's overwhelmed, and to do this with a lot of sanity. So, just to get back to what Leverage for Leaders is a 7-month mastermind that I'm putting together. Now, this is the first time I'm actually bringing out to you. So, if you want to be a part of Leverage, and I'm going to reply you, of course, if you have my email currently, you can actually send me an email. If you have my contact, you can also reach me as well about Leverage for Leaders. Now, in Leverage for Leaders, I'm going to hold you accountable such that everything you have designed here, I'm going to hold you accountable without stress, without overwhelmed, without anxiety. Of course, you know that. So in Leverage for Leaders, I'm going to, every week, we are going to work together such that you know that this week, this is what I need to work on. Such that when you come back next week, we are asking you, I am personally asking you that, okay, last week you said you were going to do this. Have you been able to do it? What stopped you from not doing it? Okay, what is the sort done so far? And then, of course, for the next 7 months, we only look at 7 focus areas. So that means that if you have set goals that you need to work on, there are things that will work on one after the other. Now, this is not a teaching mastermind. It's not even a course. It's not an online course. It is basically you and me and a few other persons getting on a call every week in order for you to actually go closer to the goal that you have set for yourself. So it's not so much of me teaching or talking. It's basically me walking you. And it's not, like I said, it's not so much of teaching. So we get to have Q&A sessions. We get to have private workshops. If you need to improve your skill, if you need to learn something that you need to learn, there will be sessions and workshops like that that will handle that. And of course, I'm going to provide professional support, coaching, therapy to you as a member of that mastermind. And then you'll be able to multiply your performance. You'll be able to handle distractions. In case you are distracted from running after your goals, we'll be able to work on those distractions so as to keep you in focus throughout those 7 months. Now, we are starting actually in January. So if you want to be a part of this, the goal of Leverage for Leaders is for you to win in life. And so we are going to help you improve your productivity. You are going to overcome stuckness. So it's going to help you be more accountable to achieving your goal. So if that is interesting to you, please, you can mission, or you can basically just send me a direct message or send me an email. Interestingly, my email is iam@dayosamuel.com. iam@dayosamuel.com. That is my email. You can find me on all social media, as you can see on my screen right here, at I am DAYO SAMUEL. That is my social media. But I prefer YouTube and Instagram anyway, because those allow me a little more privacy and to answer people more privately. So now, at this point, I have questions right about now. So please go ahead and post your questions. Let me have, while I take a little gulp of water here. So post your questions. Let me have your questions in the comments, and let me see what I can answer here. And if you please be kind enough to at least put in, I can know if I have done an excellent job. Picking up what I'm pouring down. You are picking up what I'm putting down. So let me know. Okay, let me see. So the charts are showing, but the video is not playing. I really hope you can watch this again. You should be able to watch it again. Of course, you should be able to watch it again. Almost, in fact, immediately after this mastery session, you can basically just pick it up from here again. And then you can go to wherever it is you feel you have missed out. My hope is just that I hope I've been able to provide sufficient guide to you for this particular mastery session. I love what's going on in the comments. So thank you. I'm going to be going off in the next couple of minutes, or maybe seconds, giving me your time. I've spent the last 1 hour 42 minutes with you, and I also thank you that I'm able to provide this level of practical work to you. Any part of this that's not clear to you, please drop a comment down below. Let me know that there's a part that's not clear to you, and hopefully I'll be able to expand. Thank you so very much. I am DAYO Samuel, and my coming your deepest fears, deepest worries, deepest anxieties. If I've been able to do that in this particular video, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Please, content coming out from my channel every single week going forward. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, that I was going to talk about some of the things that I've been able to do this year. Well, this year, like I mentioned earlier on, I started this and it was just 15 subscribers, and my goal was that by the end of this year I would have grown this about 373 subscribers. I believe that it was initially 360 something before I started this live stream. So this moment now, it's now about 373 subscribers. So there was a reality, there was a result I wanted to create, and the roadblock was for me to be able to, and to also break through some of the challenges many YouTubers face. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So again, be sure to subscribe down below. Don't leave this video without subscribing if possible. Now, if you have enjoyed this as well, please share with somebody that you know it will be of benefit to them. With that said, thank you very, very much. This is one, and I'll say bye-bye. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am DAYO Samuel.